This guy wants to convince his WoW guildmate to play the game with him. His question is simple. He's a farmer. This guy loves to do quests and collect as many things as possible. He loves achievements. Is there anything like that in this game? What about mounts? Yeah, there's a ton of stuff like that in this game.
Good lord.
There's pets, there's mounts, there's
all you have to do is say artifacts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I've opened up more artifact quests than I've put into the most. Well, definitely than I've completed. I've probably got like 1 billion right now. And like every time I think I'm getting closer, I'm like, oh, I opened up another set. There's another 10 I need to collect.
Yeah, artifacts are these little tiny... If you've watched our videos, you see us go like, ooh, piece of candy. They're little tiny glowy things on the ground, and artifacts go into your artifact collections, and once you complete them, you turn them in for stuff. And you can use whatever you turn it in for to buy pets, or silly hats, or outfits, or things like that, all sorts of different things, or mounts. But these artifacts are basically stuff that you get from killing guys, or that are on the ground, and they're in every zone across the entire game, and they're rare and stuff, and so once you find... But there's 100 of the damn things. I mean, there's way more than I can count.
I feel like they made Rift like Pokemon or something. Like,
gotta catch them all, exactly.
There's so many, it's horrible.
And so you go around and you just have to collect them, and they put them everywhere, so you'll go out of your way to get them sometimes, but you can't see them on the map, so you just have to stumble upon them. Now, there are certain areas where they tend to spawn more than others, but really, it's a giant collection game. And also there's books in the game. So you know how like in WoW example, if you read a book, you've read the book, but you have to go back to that place. In this game, you pick up the book and put it in your inventory. So if you ever want to read more about the lore, you just click on your inventory. And well, it's not in your bags. It's like in a special slot. But you can read more about the story.
Not always, though. Sometimes they're static. And they just sit there.
That's true. But those books are ones that you either have already gotten or ones that you haven't gotten yet. They're copies. So, like, you'll go into some towns, and there'll be a book there called, like the origin of the Kalari, and either you have it or you haven't gotten it yet, right? So, that's that kind of thing. But, yeah, there's tons of crap to collect in this game. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so, there's a big market on the auction house for just the collection stuff. So, yeah, if your friend likes collecting useless junk, this game has a ton of it. Alright, this question says... Oh, and that was Kamas00PL who asked that previous question. Alright, this one's asked by Fireballin86. He says, hey, Jesse and Mike and Chris. So, Chris, you better be paying attention.
I'm paying attention.
Okay. Alright. I was wondering if any of you actually wished you had chose a different race or class. So that is my question. I hope to get it on the video, because that would be so OP. Well, there you go. Isn't OP original poster?
Well, when Rift was still in beta, Mike and I basically just sat here and leveled tunes to 20. You know, I played a mage a little bit. I played the rogue. I didn't actually play the Judicar until opening day, but I had read up on it, and we had been talking about it, and I just figured I'd try it out. And I like my Judicar. I hope end game, you know, he holds up as a main tank. I'm not sure how that's going to be. I'm a little concerned with the low armor class I carry. But, no, I like the tune I have.
You know what? The one thing I'm sort of mad that I missed out on is when I was on my rogue, and when I dicked around with the mage a little bit, I liked that they have direct AoE spells. My poor warrior only has a like frontal AoE. I guess you can't call it like a cone attack. It hits 5 guys, which is awesome, but it's only frontal. So every time we get in a big pack, I have to turn my ass around and attack. And if the mobs move, I have to move with them. And I'm just a lazy bastard. And so
how do you say you're poor warrior? You're OP as hell.
Shh! Don't. I suck. My character does not need to be nerfed at all.
Wink.
Yeah, wink. All right. This is a question by Aaron117. He says, is it as responsive and satisfying as WoW? I guess he's talking about the gameplay itself. And are the jumping racials better than any others because they can exploit? What say you?
I don't know. A couple times I wish I had the jumping racial so I could go get a piece of candy, but that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the running racial of the F have this running racial that is ridiculously overpowered, I think. And now they should never change it because originally the F had a shield that they could shield themselves from damage which was awesome for like a few seconds or something like that. But now it's a run, and there have been many times where we've been stuck in a giant group of mobs, and it's like, we got to get through this area. And so we'll just put the run on. And, like, if you get dismounted, which you get dismounted all the time for no reason in this game.
Ugh. So stupid. So stupid.
Like...
Not to mention, I mean, one whack knocks you off your mount. But everything in this freaking game snares. Everything?
Everything. There's no rhyme and reason
Trion.
to it. If there's one thing that we had to complain about, I guarantee every single one of us would agree on this. The one major issue we have with this game... I think we can all say that it's a pretty great game so far, but the one thing we hate is the fact that every single mob in this game will almost one hit, maybe one or two hit you off your mount, even at high-end mounts.
Yeah.
Will knock your ass off, and then, if you try to run, they stun you or snare you. And
just for getting around, man, it's just so freaking annoying. Like, everything does not need to stun you. It just doesn't. Or snare you. It just doesn't.
Yeah, that's. I mean, a level 8 should not be able to knock you off your mount. Like, I don't care if it aggroes you. I can take the 10 points of damage. But the fact that he hits you and then your mount dismounts, that is some serious baby back bullshit. That is ridiculous. So, ugh.
Baby back bullshit.
Thanks, Mike. I was waiting for you to say it. No, not that. Mike, say it in the voice. Say it in the voice. Go.
Chilies.
No.
Wait, what? What the hell's going on here? I was reading a quest.
Of course you were, because you guys are busy questing, and I'm sitting here trying to run this damn video.
Not questing. Right. I'm sitting in a
That's
tent
some baby back bullshit.
Watching
there we go.
Run around me.
That's some baby back bullshit.
That's some baby back bullshit.
Yo. All right, anyway, how responsive and satisfying is the game compared to WoW? Like, I guess keys and stuff. I would say more so, because when I'm playing WoW, people will notice in the videos that I'm like spamming, like I'll just repeatedly press 3 trying to get this damn thing to go off, and it has like a like a queue. So if I press 3, I don't have to ever press it again. Meanwhile, I'm spamming it because in WoW, like, that's what I have to do. So I would say it's more responsive. It's easier to use, I think. Am I right on that assumption? What do you guys think?
For what?
Holy shit! You don't even care. Oh my god! This is
what?
I don't.
We've gotten to the point, ladies and gentlemen, where they've been like, we've answered your questions. We're done.
There's a fire invasion going on right now, dude.
See, exactly. They've answered enough. All right, fine, you dicks.
Dude, you said this would take 5 minutes. I mean, I have ADD. We all know this. If I don't see,
there's a ton of questions. All right.
On another note, if you say hello to Galrook in game, he will send you 25 gold. He's that nice of a guy.
And every time that happens, I'm gonna punch wrist.
All right. We'll get to the last few questions here. I'm only level 30, but I'm already a bit worried the fact that it's going to be a bit too fast to level if I play every other night. That is insane. It once you hit 40, it'll slow down for you. Yeah. So, all right. We plowed through that question. Yay, that was asked by who was that asked by? I can't even find it now. Helmet 34 asked that question. Okay. Is leveling in a group better than leveling solo? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Chronos 4293 asked that.
What we were talking about the other night is, oh shit, you don't get you don't lose experience for killing a bunch of guys in a group. You know what I mean?
You actually, god damn it, I hate you guys. I'm sitting here in Meridian just like running around on a horse. Hey there, guys, it's Jesse after the fact. I decided to come in at this point because in the actual real recording, we just rambled on for like 20 minutes about Happy Meals. Don't even ask. Someone asked the question and it just got into this conversation. It's actually not even very funny, but the idea was that I wanted to cut that because, we're 3 videos in, and I figure I should just answer questions at this point. Besides, someone already replied like, "Oh, you guys don't know jack about this game. You're so stupid. Oh, I bet you don't even play WoW, and I bet you suck at all MMOs." And yeah, when Mike gets around to reading that after he gets back this weekend, trust and believe there'll be like a massive flame video completely owning that guy, because if there's one thing that the 3 of us are good at, it's MMOs, and we do endgame stuff like crazy. Gorefiend, Mojo Maker, look it up. I'd be willing to bet my achievement points against anyone else out there any day. That's all I'm going to say on that. Anyway, since I'm here by myself now, I'm going to try my best to answer some of the questions that have come up since we did this recording, alright? So the first one is from Shandar16. He says, I got a question. It seems like in Rift, you get a lot of different abilities due to the 3 souls you get, but doesn't that mean there are too many skills? Look at your videos, it's almost 3 bars full of skills. Do you have enough buttons to bind to those skills? That's actually a really good question. Yeah, there are plenty of buttons to bind to skills, but really that second bar I have is 90% buffs. Basically, I have a ton of buffs that I have, and they're mostly for soloing, because when you're in a group, a lot of things override those, so I only really use 2, but I keep them on bars all the time. There are a lot of abilities, and you have to pick and choose. And so you really do have to theory craft, and you have to see what stuff is like at level 50. And you have to go through and determine if the damage is worth it. Like, there are some abilities as Paragon. People have been asking what my spec is. You can tell I'm a Paragon because I'm dual wielding. There are some abilities that in the Paragon tree, even though that's my main spec, you would think that that is the way to go. But in the champion tree, which I also have, there are some abilities that are just plain stronger that don't have any requirements of a 2-handed weapon. So you would use those instead. And even though you have this Paragon ability that specifically says for 2-handed weapons, it doesn't do as much damage as the champion thing. So you just swap it out. I assume as things change, you're going to have to keep doing that. But really, it's about choice and about seeing numbers. If something on a different tree does 1,000 more damage, you're going to use that instead of the other thing that, you know, if it's a follow-up attack, right, you pick and choose. I think it makes sense to me, but that's definite theory crafting, and so I guess you'd have to be into that stuff. This is actually the first time I've ever been into that and gone through and tried to figure out what was best, because in this game you kind of have to. Schneerin Awesome says, is there an LFD tool in Rift? I assume that's looking for dungeon, hopefully, because if Mike were here, he'd probably correct me. But I assume that's what it is, right? Because that's what I think of when I think of WoW. But no, there is not. The only thing they have is they have chats for each level range, and as you level, you move up in the chat. Now, you always stay in the 1 to 9 chat because, I guess you could leave it if you want, but you always stay in there because, I guess, to help the noobs. But as you level, every 10 levels you jump into a new chat. So at 40 you hit the 40 to 49, at 50 you're in the 50 chat, and so that's where you communicate with people of your level range to ask if they want to do stuff. That's as good as it gets right now. There is a in bar tab thingy that you can do for your PvP. That's kind of similar to what WoW has. So you don't have to go to the PvP guys, though you still can. And I think that's it, though. Kerpunk says, Jesse, why the hell do you keep talking about original WoW? You don't need to tell us if it's worse than vanilla, because vanilla is gone. Why is it even relevant for comparison's sake, but original WoW is a very bad point of comparison? I agree with this statement, but I wish I could compare it to something else. I mean, Rift is essentially a tough version of original WoW. It is nothing like current Cataclysm. Cataclysm questing is all over the place. It's really innovative and stuff, and Rift takes that questing, and it doesn't even go that direction. It goes back to the way questing used to be in WoW. So, I mean, that's the best way I can explain it. Is it for those people who remember, this is the explanation for you. If you don't, I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you. If you like, I guess I can put it, if you like Cataclysm leveling now, you won't like Rift. If you don't like Cataclysm leveling, you will like Rift. Maybe that's the best way to explain it. I don't know. I tried, right? All right. And then the Celtic German says, hey, Jesse, quick question. I'm joining the army, and I don't know exactly when I'll be going to basic training. My question is, do you think Rift is worth buying, even if it's just for a few months? Yeah. I mean, we've been playing it 2 weeks. We're at 50. And now there's one raid, and there are 2 tiers of dungeons. So there's the tier 1 dungeons, which are the first 4 dungeons you can do, and then the level 50 ones, like the ones you can do when you hit level 50, they become tier 2 when you do them on expert. And hey man, they are actually really hard. Like the last boss of the Foul Cascade, we actually did the dungeon run of that, and I'll see if I can piece it together for you, because we go from like all happy-go-lucky to progressively just hating each other to the very end where we're just like, screw this game. I mean, it gets really hard. And so it's definitely gear check stuff. And that's good. But you don't need to do that. You can run around and do rifts and have fun. You can take as long as you want to level. I mean, the game just came out. Unlike WoW, which is established, the rush of that game is you power yourself to the top so you can do the end content because you know there's going to be a lot there. With this, you know, there's one raid right now and then there are dungeons. It is the inception of a game. It's the very beginning. So you have all the time in the world to do what you want because they aren't going to throw out another expansion like right away. That's not going to happen. There might be a patch, but it's going to be months down the line because the game just released. They aren't going to keep cramming stuff in because they want to get more and more people to join and start from the beginning. So don't think this game is going to be like WoW, where they're releasing 4.1 after what? 4 months? Not even, I don't even remember when the expansion came out. 4 or 5 months. Expect something 6+ months when it comes to Rift. The game just started, remember that. So hopefully that answers your question. You have plenty of time to play. Anyway, I think that's it for questions that I saw that I wanted to answer that were asked. And I think that's it. So I'm going to put you back to the very end of our video and us saying goodbye. So let's go back to that. That's it. Those are the questions we decided to answer. In the future, we will answer more questions. And hopefully this will help you guys.
They're going to be like, man, this video was a half an hour. Why the hell are we watching it still?
You know what? The best part is, hopefully they will enjoy it because they wanted to know answers. And so we gave it to the fans. You guys have fans now, which sickens me because I don't think you deserve them, frankly. I'll be honest. I don't think you deserve them. Chris deserves fans because he's like
Old
the
man
guy
winner.
he's a what?
Old man winner.
He is. No, Old Man Winter deserves fans. You two assholes don't deserve shit.
I know. I can't help it.
Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up, all that junk. And, you know, as usual, to be continued.